I made a little boo-boo and sort of forgot to turn on my mic for this episode. So, you know, I had some pretty good content going while I was playing, but I lost all the audio from my commentary. Luckily, we still have audio from in-game, so I'll just do some post-audio commentary over the top, if that's alright. Basically, I'm just going to do some cooking here at the beginning, as usual, to get started for the day. I didn't really have a plan, so I brainstormed at the beginning, but then kind of just randomly decided to go north to the top of the map, since I realized I hadn't really explored around the large tree area. And the plan was, if I go that way, then on the way back, with whatever time I had left, depending on what I found, was to fish with the rest of the remaining time. Turns out things don't go quite as planned, but the north side of the map has a lot of goodies, as the title of this video explains, and what you'll eventually find out by the end of this video. If you're playing the game yourself, you'll probably want to start with this area as opposed to going around aimlessly like I did for the first 15 episodes of this game. Since it's pretty hard to find some of the items, especially chicory, like I'll mention. I went up to the sewing room right there to check what I needed for the backpack, 16 slot backpack, and I had forgot that I needed 4 chicories. I only have 3, and those are pretty difficult, probably the most difficult item to find in the game, since they're by themselves in random spots, at least for like the dogbane stem, and you'll find out with the cattails. Once you find one area, there's at least like 6 or 7 of them. So it makes it easier to get a bunch of them. Whereas the chicory, it's just a crapshoot. So the idea was to get more materials for the greenhouse, which I need the steel pipes to make the metal plates, and then or the materials for the backpack, which is chicory and stuff for sewing thread, which I believe is beeswax, and I'm not sure what else, but I think we have it. And then the rest is just the fir planks. So basically what we're looking for is steel pipes, chicory, cattails, and then fish if we have time to get the materials for clothes and backpacks. You need that special fish, something bleak skin. So we head out here after taking our fishing rod, axe, grab the lockpick, because the other plan was not just to come back through the fishing area, but come back through the area, that northernmost area of raw materials where the tower is, because I hadn't been back there in a long time and I was hoping for regeneration of materials, but I end up not needing to go through there, as you'll see. So I start off just going around the lake and heading up towards the large trees to explore there first, and trying to stay away from the bear since it's to the right there. I thought it was that giant rock, and that's why I stopped a second ago, because it did come down sort of around here when I aggroed it. Oh, that was the rock. I stopped right there and thought that was the bear. Grab some yellow ash leaves, and I start coming in close to, that rock, and I start heading out further where I haven't explored. Here in just a bit. It starts raining. Raining does not seem to have to have any effect in this game besides making a nice moody sound. Doesn't seem like you get colder, or anything like that. It does seem like you get colder if you fall in the lake, but not necessarily just being wet from the rain. So here's where I start getting into unexplored territory with the plan of coming back through to fish or get those materials if there's nothing really out here. Because before, when I looked at this area, this looked like a bunch of trees, but little did I know. Mushrooms. And here's where I realize in a second that this is another stream. So that's pretty interesting. Or it's actually more like a lake that you could fish in. I don't fish in it, but I thought I could take those lily pads, but you can't. And I was looking for cattails here, and fall in the water. The funny thing is those cattails are right there, but instead I just completely missed that, and then grab the driftwood, which I don't need, and turn around here. And I walked right through the cattails right there. Oh my gosh, I did not realize that the first time. Luckily I come back and get them later, because I see them from across the water. I must have just thought it was that long grass and didn't notice it blinking. Because I do see one over here. I thought that was one. And then I go over here and there's a deer across the way. Cattail, cattail. So we found our first batch of cattails in this area, and then I noticed the ones across the water that I literally walked through just a second before and didn't see. So cattails was one of the only items that I was missing from what I needed for the outfits. The other one was the fish skins, like I mentioned, which we just need to fish longer to do that, and I wanted to take a break from that since I suck so bad at it. But we'll probably dedicate that in a future episode soon, for just fishing. I didn't go back and get those cattails across the water because I wanted to go a little bit further. I was going to come back around on the way back to get them. Just wanted to see what was up here. Not much, but I didn't go all the way. And then I found the other batch of dogbane stems. And open up the map here in a second to show where those are at, for those of you interested. So they're up there by the larch trees. So there's a kind of a pond with the cattails and a batch of dogbane stems all right next to where the larch trees are. So it's already a pretty important part of the map to be able to come up here to get three of pretty much rare resources in the game. So if you don't come this way, you could miss out on some good crafting materials. So once I got that, I think I decided to head back to get the cattails. I didn't want to go too much further at the time, because I was going to head back. I'm pointing at the materials over there because I wanted to touch that before I got back, because I really wanted to try and get steel pipes as well. I wasn't necessarily looking for dogbane stems or cattails, but we got them. go back to where it was to get the cattails I walked through. And then I notice I'm just now seeing that crate. Was that crate there before too? I am very blind if that is the case. Yeah, you can actually see all those crates up there in the background that I completely missed. But once I start heading back, I noticed that, and I decided to drop or eat a meal early here. Then I'll eventually drop the sticks and driftwood. I wanted to drop the driftwood just because I don't have any known uses for it right now, although it is pretty hard to find. I'm pretty sure this tough decision leads to eating a meal. I went through like every item. Yeah. So I realized that literally just right here, right next to where all those other resources are, is another tower area with raw materials. And I got the campfire and campfire cooking blueprint, which is awesome. So that way I can start a fire now, and I could potentially camp now that I have a tent, blueprint, and campfire. And so this area, I was just talking about how many different resources are up there that I completely missed this whole time. So I'm really glad I randomly made the decision to go up there, because I pretty much found everything I needed, including the steel pipes here, that I'm definitely going to drop something for. This time it's the driftwood. So I found 2 steel pipes there, and we were looking for a third to have enough for the metal plates to build a greenhouse. I'm not touching the steel wire and the other crap just because I can come back and I didn't have enough inventory slots. Thought that was a steel pipe. Just nails. And we found the 3rd steel pipe, so that was really exciting. Now we can build the greenhouse, assuming we go harvest enough for planks from trees. And at this point, we found dogbane stems, cattails, steel pipes, a materials place, all by the larch trees. So that whole area is a super good find. And we kind of head off in this direction to see what else we haven't explored over here as we're on our way back. I don't know why I grabbed so much stump moss. I have too much of it, as I realize when I get back. I'm gonna stop grabbing it. And as I turn around, we find the 4th chicory that we needed for the backpack. So not only did we find those 4 things I just mentioned, we now find a 5th important item, which is the chicory that we have been looking for quite a while, and those are super hard to find. We've only found 4 total the whole game, and they will all go towards the backpack. They're always off by themselves, you know, in a kind of a weird spot. And if there wasn't enough stuff we found, we find another materials spot. And there's no tower on it, so it's not signified by the map, but it definitely has materials, and there's a steel pipe right there, so we get 4. We don't take anything else, but I will definitely be back here to get it as soon as we go out again. So, long story short, in this episode, we kind of randomly chose a direction and found the best possible resources all in one day without even knowing where we were going. We found chicory, dogbane, cattail and 2 more material drop spots. And we still haven't explored, most of the map. So we are looking in good shape at this point. And I explored this little area, but there's not much to be had over here. And I think I start heading back soon because it starts getting colder, and I'm not trying to take any risk while I found all this stuff that I needed. Bad news is I start walking right into where the bear is accidentally. And so we get into a fight and die. No, that's not what happens, but it could have easily happened because I wasn't paying attention until right now, and then I turned course towards the water to come back up through, which is why we need the compass. But hey, we survived. I still don't even know in this game if you actually die from the bear or whatever. Is it permadeath or... you're saving, so I guess you could reload your last save. But, that would be no bueno if we lost everything. But pretty much we get back with all of our resources, with enough time to escape the cold temperatures, put everything up in the storage after I eat a mushroom to regenerate some stamina. Oh, I guess I already did that. And show off the house here with the addition of the sewing room to the right, and it's becoming a mansion. So that's pretty exciting. I had a brain fart here and opened this up for no reason and then went upstairs. Saved to make sure I keep all those resources. All my storage is pretty much filling up to the max brim. Got too much stump moss. Too much dog bane. Put the chicory away. And we have to start using the storage with the seeds in order to put everything up. I don't know what's going to happen once I have everything completely full, if I can build any more chests. Or if I just have to start throwing crap away. I need to start using it to craft more stuff, I guess. But that's it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in day 17.